Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for welcoming me into this. This is first time. But yeah, so Rajesh found me. I mean, it's usually women that are looking, but obviously Rajesh is looking too. But basically, I'm in my 50s as well, and I'm a solo traveler. Although I am married, but I do travel a lot by myself. And basically, my story is to inspire 50 plus women, 50, 60, 70, even 80-year-olds. That includes my mother, to travel and live life. Like, break the norm of your everyday routine. The parents, the children, the husbands, all of that sort of thing. So that is my story, and that's what I showcase. I'm originally from the UK. I was born and brought up in the UK. But when I was around 15, I moved to Australia, and I pretty much lived in Australia for nearly over 35 years now. My children were born in New Zealand, and but they're married. My son is getting married at the end of the year, and so I'm free. Me and my husband, we are free actually. So he's still working, and I mean, I work. I teach English. But my social media platform, I'm like a social media influencer in this category of travel. My background is from the airline industry. So I've worked for the major airlines like Singapore Airlines, British Airways, Malaysian Airlines, actually a lot of them in operations. So when COVID hit, the world changed. And so we kind of all lost our jobs in the airline world. And then I thought, well, okay, there's an opportunity here. So I started this online thing and started showcasing my travels. I've traveled to 88 countries now, and a lot of that has been on my own, because I just felt I just needed to travel and explore, and it has changed me dramatically. Like, it gives you a new perspective on life. It gives you confidence and identity. Because before that, I was just the wife or the mother or the sister or daughter, whatever it was. We get those titles. So I want to break that norm because we are actually an individual. So that is my story, and that is what I showcase. So please join me on my platform, and we'll grow this. And I do retreats. I bring women together, and we do weekend retreats, and we go places. Right now, I'm in India. I'm actually in Goa at the moment. And next week, I'm going to Kerala. I think somebody was going to Kerala next week, but I am going to Kerala next week. And then Mumbai, and then I go back home to Riyadh. But yeah, I'm not actually in one place. I keep moving. So, and that's what inspires me. That keeps me young, keeps me going. And yeah, I love it. So any questions, please ask me.
Okay, so if I may ask, you do have a sort of a travel agency? Do you run a travel agency, or how do you
Well,
operate?
I used to back in Australia. I used to, and I still have my connections there. So anyone coming from Australia, I have my. So I collaborate with a lot of agencies now
Oh,
in India. I'm doing that, and in Saudi and everywhere. So I've gone away from actually doing the bookings, but I bring the groups together and curate the itineraries, and
oh,
then basically with the help of the agencies do that, because this alone, doing everything online, is actually quite a lot in itself. And yeah, I that doing the travel agency work is a lot of hard work too, so I leave it to those guys. But I'm just influencing. I'm trying to tell a story basically, and through that story I do a lot of collaborations with travel agency, hotels, retreats, and just bringing women together and helping them. There's so many people women especially, who are struggling actually, and they've reached out to me. And I mean, I can't help everybody, but I'm just trying to inspire them to try and think differently, and try and help themselves really. But yeah, so that's where I sit. So I don't have a travel agency, but I'm connected. Yeah.
okay.
Mm.
So, Parna,
That's that's a really inspirational story of yours, Angela, because I have just turned 50
Wow.
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
अरे वाह,
I travel a lot.
Yeah.
Um, Perchance solo because I'm single. I don't have like a
Okay.
like children and spouse. But me and my sister and some other cousins, we are traveling a lot. And I do think that, especially for women, women who I've met in my travels, I really think that travel helps them more as, like you said, to reconnect with their selves, not
Yeah.
so much in their roles,
Correct.
but just the self that they have. So I'm really impressed. I will definitely look up your Instagram page, and I'll certainly I probably would be very actively trying to see what or how many of these retreats or what is best for us, because travel is one of the mainstays of my life, my and my sister's life.
Mhm.
It is one thing that keeps us sane.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
yes, it does. I mean, in no position can you ever say that a vacation doesn't help you. So, so there are different kinds of travels that we do. I just wanted to ask you, so you do curated women's travels only, or is it family travels also that you
Yeah.
create together? Or so
Yeah.
like we have,
Mm.
yeah, we have travel agencies here who just do women travels. You know,
Okay.
they lead travels for just women travelers, maybe 10, 12 of them together.
Right.
So I just wanted to ask you if you do something similar, or is it different, and if different, how?
No, I do a bit of both. So
Okay.
the women that want to just travel with the women, I'll just do women. But like I've already got in place an African trip in July, and that's men and women, the safari
Mhm.
trip. And then we've got Antarctica in 2027 in February, and that's mixed as well. So yeah, I'll do both. I mean,
Mhm.
because some people want to travel with their husbands and they're quite
Mhm.
independent as well. We're at that age where the kids have grown up and now suddenly we're free to travel, right? So I also travel with my husband too. So yeah, so we can do both, definitely. So if
Great.
anyone
Great.
wants to join me in Africa or Antarctica, I'll be posting that soon. So
Excellent.
yeah.
Excellent.
Namita.
Yeah, hi Angela. Very inspiring and very interesting. Personally, I'm not a traveler myself. I'm not that fond of travel, but there's a reason behind it. It's because of my fear of getting lost.
Oh,
So, so I do really fear that if I'm out on solo, I am possibly going to lose my way or not. I don't know what that phobia is called, but it is definitely a part of that does prevent me from exploring any place by myself. So I've usually been just confined to routine and stuff. So I'd love to hear your perspective on this. And if that taking that plunge into solo traveling can alleviate this fear. And then I also had one more question for you, which is could you share any recent story that you felt was very inspiring and connected you deeply to with any of the recent groups that you've traveled with?
well, coming back to your getting lost, that's the first person I've said that the fear of getting lost. But basically, I mean, in the world of technology, we have GPS, we have all that, So I think if you're connected to your phone, you should be okay. And part of the journey is to get lost and, and experience that too. As long as you feel safe and do that, because safety is number one priority. But yeah, but I just think, and when I travel, yeah, I have that fear too, that, oh my God, I don't know where I'm going. How do I get back to the hotel? And all of that. But GPS, as long as you're connected with your GPS, you can't go wrong. And also, if you go into, don't ask strangers, but if you go into the shops and just say, where's the hotel? you'll find your way back, so it's not that daunting. You just got to have the confidence to do that, right? And inspiring stories would be, okay, so recently I did the Palace on Wheels. I don't know if everybody knows the Palace on, yeah, in Delhi, right? So I did that, and it was a wow factor, like truly wow factor. And on the train, there were people from America, from Australia, from all over, and from Delhi as well, actually, as an Indian family there. And, the mentality of those people, I know they're probably high end and they can afford this sort of thing, but, putting away money and your status and whatnot, they're really down to earth people. And that really inspired me even more. Like I could sit there and talk to them and get their perspective of all of this, really there's such good human beings out there, and traveling like this, you meet so many good people. Like now I've come to South Goa, I switched the TV off now. I'm sick of hearing about Donald Trump, right? So, and I'm just reeling on going outside to the beach, going there and just talking to real people. And that's what inspires me, to hear people's stories, for sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Usha ma'am?
Hi, Angela.
Hi, Usha.
Glad to meet you. You are such an inspiring soul.
Thank you.
And I feel today, this Sunday is really, you made our Sunday today through
Oh,
your words of sharing your experiences.
thank you.
Travel, in fact, I am also so much fond of traveling.
Okay.
And, there is a saying that all those who wander are not lost. I do believe in that. And my daughter introduced me to go for travels with a women group of travelers.
Mhm.
So in a beach place there in Varkala in Kerala. I went with my daughter with a group. I really enjoyed that trip. That was the first trip I went other than with my family.
Okay.
And what I found is that when we are traveling in such way, we are becoming more independent, and it is a time to reinvent ourselves and
Yeah.
to have an introspection of ourselves, and also exploring new food, new lifestyle, new language, everything.
Yeah.
Travel is a panacea for our aching mind, I feel. So you are doing a wonderful job.
Yeah, absolutely. 100,000% agree to that for sure. Because you also learn not only from the places you go, you learn from each other as well. And you hear everybody else's struggles or what they found or whatever, and you're just learning all the time. And it's just wonderful. Yeah,
And
I
I would
agree.
like to add one more thing, especially you are focusing upon the 50 plus women and people. It is a right decision because till then we are living for our family, for our children, and after once when they are all getting settled, that is the time for ourselves. So
Exactly. That's right. Exactly. And that's the time we can't say, like, I don't know. I remember when my mum turned 50, and I remember thinking, oh, she's old, she's getting old. But now we're in that age group too, and we are not old. We still have so much to do, so much to give, and something for ourselves, right? Because we've given so much to everybody else. So now it's our turn. So this is it. It's the start of our new life.
thank you.
Yeah.
Acha, Angela, I would like to ask one thing.
Yeah.
Uh, like these days, even as Namita was telling, fear of getting lost.
Yeah.
Like my both my daughters, they have traveled to the entire Europe.
Yeah.
They planned it. Both of them planned it together. They went, together. Both my daughters. So they even the youngsters. Like I was talking to this girl, Krishna. She's a poet. She joins us. She also keeps going on solo trips.
Okay.
So what is still I feel, I went on a solo trip just 3 years back myself at the age of 50 plus. After getting 50 plus, I went on a solo trip,
Yeah.
leisure trip. Like otherwise you travel alone, that's a different thing, but for leisure trip, solo trip, I went after the age of 50. But I still feel there is a stigma attached to people going solo. Even at my age, I will not name people who are in this group also. They ask me, what's the issue? What is the problem? Why didn't you take your wife or your children?
I
Why
know.
you are traveling alone? क्या घर में झगड़ा हो गया क्या? I mean,
Yeah.
these kind of things are still prevalent. So,
Yes.
what is your take on that? Not just females, but for males also, it is still there.
Oh, absolutely. And because I travel to India a bit, so my audience is suddenly becoming a lot of Indian people from India. So I'm getting those type of comments, like, are you actually married? Are you, separated? Or, all these things. And I said, why does it matter? Really, why does it matter? So, it's so negative, and this is where these people are very narrow-minded, and that is what we need to break. We need to open their minds a little bit to this. So when people from USA, Australia, or all these other places, they have no qualms about that. But in India, we are still stuck here with that mentality, and it's going to be hard to change that mentality because, we still have the older generation and, the villages and that sort of thing that are still here. But all I say to people, it's your life, it's your one life, just do it. Who do you have to answer to, really? You have to answer to yourself and do it for yourself. And do you know what? Your children, even my children, they look at me and, they're proud of me. They become proud of you because you've taken control. Where I'm not controlling them, I'm taking control of my own life, and that's the difference. And if that makes a difference, I think forget about the people who don't want to change, really. Yeah. So keep going.
Actually, if you say in earlier times, like 20, 30 or 40 years back, there were real issues of safety.
Yes.
Safety for women also, for everybody, like fear of getting lost also, because no GPS, nothing. So even if you are traveling, you are driving, you have to keep on asking about the way. So
Yeah.
those things are gone these days. I think safety factor, it was very important those days. It was real factor. But now I think a lot of infrastructure has also come up.
Yeah.
So I think whatever you are doing, you are really, inspiring everyone, women especially.
I mean, yeah, for women in India, though, the biggest fear and the biggest comment I get is safety.
Safety.
So they are still stuck. And I personally, when I come to India by myself, I also get scared because even on social media, I'm getting, these guys who are flirting with me and stuff, but even out there, I have to be careful. I do have to be careful, but it is, as long as you, yeah, it's all about safety and about being confident in what you do. But we still have to change it, and we still have to be very mindful. I mean, I'm not saying only in India. There are places outside this world we have to be careful, but it is changing. It's definitely changing, and we just need to take control of our lives again. Us women have to take control of our lives, Mm.
Okay, Dr. Tejinder.
Hi, Angela.
Hey, how are you?
You have inspired me a lot today.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
Actually, actually, this solo traveling is on my list.
Okay.
But because my son is just 9 years old,
Oh,
and at this time it is very like it is impossible for me to leave him at home and go
yes.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But yes, after listening you, I am ready. I will be going once he turns to a teenager. I am going to go.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yes, and second thing, when you said about the age 50 plus, you basically take those people.
Mm.
I feel age never matters. It's
No,
your energy. You are never your age. You are your energy. And
exactly.
if you are feeling like very, very energetic, you are younger as like 20 or 25.
Absolutely.
But yes, you have inspired me, and I am gonna plan my trip soon.
I mean, your son is old enough, you could leave him with the grandparents,
He doesn't live actually
does
without
it?
me.
Oh, okay.
He
Yeah.
can stay whole day, but not at night. At night he needs me.
Yeah. Yeah. Once
Yeah,
he's a teenager, you'll see the change, and then
yeah,
you'll be
yes,
wanting him. He won't want you.
yes. But I'm
Yeah,
surely gonna go now.
for sure. Okay, that's
Yes.
great.
Sujata ji.
नाइस टू मीट यू एंजला वैसे कैन यू कंफर्टेबल विथ हिंदी
I look, I understand Hindi, but
ओके
my can't really
ओके,
speak well.
इट्स ओके, इट्स ओके। एक्चुअली मेरा ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस कोई है नहीं अभी, क्योंकि जैसा डॉक्टर तेजेंद्र ने बोला, मेरे बच्चे भी अभी बहुत छोटे हैं, माय किड्स आर वेरी स्मॉल, सो मैं भी अभी जा नहीं पाई हूँ, तो ऐसा कोई एक्सपीरियंस मैंने किया नहीं है, पर सुन के मुझे अच्छा लगा। करा जा सकता है, जब मेरे बच्चे बड़े हो जाएंगे तो मैं करूँगी।
आई गेस वी हम दोनों इकट्ठे ही जाएंगे
हाँ,
कभी।
हम दोनों इकट्ठे जाएंगे।
That's right, exactly. But you know, my kids are in their 30s now, but when they were younger, I actually traveled with them as well. Like we traveled as families. I even used to take them alone with myself, you know. So I've been traveling a lot. I've done 88 countries in a matter of like 30 years. So um you can still travel with your children even, you know, that still helps you get that confidence and know how to handle things outside with your children, you know, that gives you more confidence.
शायद हम लोग अभी इतने कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं है, क्योंकि सो इन दैट्स व्हाई, बट हाँ, फर्दर कर सकते हैं।
Yeah, for sure. It'll come. It will
यस,
come.
सॉरी सुजाता, आपका ना ये टकरा रहा है आपके कहीं इधर, तो मे बी
ओके,
थोड़ा
मैं
सा
देखती
उसको
हूँ।
ख्याल कर लीजिएगा। व्हेन यू आर सिंगिंग तो एटलीस्ट इसको उतार देना
ठीक
व्हेन
है,
एवर यू आर गोइंग टू सिंग।
ठीक है, ठीक
चलिए, तो आई थिंक थैंक यू सो मच एंजेला, इट वाज सच अ प्लेजर एंड ऑनर हैविंग यू। आज यू हैव डेफिनेटली इंस्पायर्ड नॉट जस्ट ऑल दीज लेडीज, यू हैव इंस्पायर्ड मी एज वेल
Oh, good, great.
एंड इट वाज सच अ प्लेजर हैविंग यू।
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for the invite. And in fact, I think I might just join anyway because I love music and I mean, I'd love to sing. You know, if there was some way I could learn to sing, I would. But I would love to listen because I love music. I love listening.
डेफिनेटली डेफिनेटली।
I'll
तो
probably keep coming.
ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर एंजेला प्लीज, थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you. Thank you so much.